I think it's
Okay, let's go.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Love is in the Dusty Air by Friendly AC. Chapter 16. Death to FIZZ. Clover's yellow soul shot out of his chest and floated in front of his reached out hand as it pointed towards Asgore. Knowing he'd won, Asgore smirked as he held up his trident and aimed it at Clover's soul. Goodbye, human. Asgore threw his red trident towards Clover's soul, but the trident hit a giant yellow soul bullet shot out of it, even bigger than Clover's usual big shots. The giant yellow bullet shattered out his trident instantly and flew towards Asgore. Asgore was too shocked by what just happened to dodge in time. The giant bullet hit Asgore directly, shattering his armor and burning most of his body. Asgore fell on his knees in pain. Clover took a couple steps towards Asgore, his soul still pointed at him. Asgore looked up and his eyes widened in fear as he saw Clover with an expression of pure, utter hatred. His yellow soul charged up again. Asgore put his arms up to block his body, prepared to take another big yellow bullet. But it wouldn't be just a giant yellow bullet this time. After Clover's soul finished charging up, he stared into Asgore's terrified eyes.
I want him to hurt. I want him to suffer. I hate him. I hate him. I just want him dead.
Clover's soul fired a giant yellow beam towards Asgore. The beam vaporized the Monster King instantly and also destroyed the wall behind him. Clover's life increased to 20. Once Clover's yellow beam dissipated, all that remained was Asgore's soul. Clover walked towards the soul as it began shaking violently. Then Clover reached his hand out towards it and grabbed the soul, absorbing it into his body. Clover opened his fist, feeling a tingling sensation in his soul as the king's soul was assimilating into his.
It's finally over.
Then Clover suddenly snapped out of his thoughts and immediately turned around to run over and check on Kaneko, who kneeled down next to her.
Kaneko, are you okay? Please wake up.
Kanako slowly opened her eyes.
Clover, did you do it?
Clover slowly nodded as he looked at Kaneko in worry.
Yeah, I did. It's over now.
Kaneko weakly smiled at him.
Thanks. I knew you could do it.
Flowey popped out of the ground, seemingly out of breath.
Hey, Kaneko, are you alright? You look hurt really bad.
Clover worriedly looked at Flowey.
Flowey, can you use more of the green pellets to heal her?
Flowey was catching his breath as he shook his head.
Sorry. I already used up all my energy to save her earlier and heal you too. It took me nearly everything I had to even burrow here.
Nako tried to get on her feet, but felt a sharp pain as she collapsed back down. Clover quickly got over to her and held her close to him.
Kaneko, please don't move. You're hurt really bad.
Hanako was panting as her whole body was trembling.
He hit me too hard. My body feels like it's about to fall apart.
Tears were dripping down Clover's face as he looked at Flowey.
Flowey, can't you save for us? That usually heals us as well, doesn't it?
Oh, right, of course. I'll just do that right now.
Cannot access file. Flowey looked confused.
What the fuck?
Cannot access file. Cannot access file. Flowey looked nervous now.
It's not working.
Clover looked terrified now.
But how?
Oh, it worked just fine earlier. I should still have that ability, unless...
Lowie's eyes widened as he realized something.
Wait, Clover, how about you try saving yourself?
Clover looked confused.
What? But I thought only you were able to do that.
Well, since you're probably at level 20 by now, I think your determination might be even greater than mine now, so you should probably have that ability.
I do? Well, don't I need to find a save point first?
Lowie looked around.
Look, there's a save point right over there at the other side of the room.
Clover stood up.
Alright, I'll go there and try to save. Can you watch over Kaneko?
Lowie nodded as he popped out of the ground next to Kanako.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks.
Clover stood up and walked over to the save point. He took a deep breath before touching it. Kinda Clover, level 20. Throne room. With the help of your friends, your mission is finally over. You are filled with a sense of justice. File saved. Clover felt his pain from the injuries he sustained instantly disappear. He quickly went back over to Kanako as she began moving. Kanako's eyes widened as she suddenly stood up.
Wow. I feel completely better.
Uh,
Wait, none of you guys hear that?
What?
I did I say my line?
Yeah, you did.
You did. I
Alright.
just had a coughing fit.
Oh, alright.
Miles, no.
Lowie sighed in relief.
That was a close one, huh?
Clover immediately hugged Kanako.
Kaneko, I'm sorry. I let you get hurt. Because of me, almost.
Kanako hugged him back as she quickly kissed him.
I see.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay, Clover. I told you I'd give my life to protect you. That's how much I love you.
Clover sniffled as he smiled back at her.
Well, I'd do the same for you, Kaneko.
Lowie's eye twitched as he tried to contain his smile.
Well, if you two lovebirds are done being all lovey-dovey, gross, I'd love to finally get out of this hellhole.
Kanako chuckled as she pulled away from Clover.
Alright. Alright. Let's go then.
Clover smiled as he adjusted his hand.
Right. We got some souls to save.
Lowie sank back into the ground as Clover and Kanako began leaving the throne room. The two of them entered a room similar to the first room Clover was in when they first fell. They turned right and walked down a long hallway before standing in front of a doorway. Clover took a deep breath as he faced the door.
The souls are in this room. I can feel it. Let's go, Kaneko.
Right. Guess it's time to meet my old friend.
Kaneko said as she and Clover walked through the doorway. Clover and Kaneko entered a large room that seemed to brighten up and dim every second. Kaneko looked around the room.
This must be the barrier.
Clover walked forward when he noticed 7 small compartments in the ground open up. Then 7 glass containers rose up from the ground. 5 of these containers each contained a soul. The children's souls. Clover stared at the souls in the containers.
I'm here, you guys. It's finally over.
All 5 of the souls began glowing brighter as the jars containers opened up. The souls rose out of the containers, now finally free of their small prison. The blue soul immediately floated over to Kanako. Kanako smiled widely as she held the blue soul in her hands, with tears in her eyes.
Melody, I'm here. It's so good to see you again.
Clover smiled as the 4 other souls floated over to him.
We'll get all of you home. We promise.
Kanako held out her hand as Melody's soul willingly floated onto it. Then Kanako grabbed Melody's soul as she absorbed it into her own. She felt a warm sensation in her soul. She had a soft smile on her face.
Now no one will be able to separate us, Melody. Thank you.
Flowey popped out of the ground next to Clover.
Hey, Clover?
Clover looked down at Flowey.
Oh, what is it, Flowey?
Well, it's just that I can't leave without absorbing human souls. And I can't ugh. And just one isn't enough since I don't actually have a soul of my own.
Clover sighed as he looked at the 4 souls.
Well, I guess so, if it's fine with them.
The 4 souls floated over to Flowey.
Looks like they like me. Thanks a lot, you guys. I'll be sure to release you 4 once we cross the barrier.
Flowey extended 4 vines to the ground, which then grabbed the 4 souls, and he brought the souls to his body as he absorbed them. Flowey felt a tingling sensation in his body as he fully absorbed the souls.
Nice to finally have a soul inside me again. Or rather, 4 souls in this case.
You had a soul before, Flowey? So what exactly are you anyway?
I'm a flower.
Kanako asked curiously.
Well, it's a long story, so I'll tell you two some other time. But first, let's finally get out of here, buddy. Oh, and Clover, come here for a second, would ya?
Clover walked over to Flowey and kneeled next to him.
What is it?
Hold out your arm, Brian. Hold out your arm real quick. I want to try something.
Okay.
Clover held out his arm toward Flowey. Flowey then extended multiple small vines around Clover's arm and then pulled himself out of the ground.
There we go. I'm attached to you now, so we can cross the barrier together.
Clover chuckled as he felt Flowey's vines wrap around his arm.
Well, it does feel kind of weird, but it's worth it. But I think I'll get a flower pot to put you in pretty soon.
Flowey scoffed.
Like I'd ever let you degrade me by being in such a position. No flower pot could ever constrain me, buddy.
We'll see about that, Flowey. Anyways, let's get out of here. Kanako, you ready?
Kaneko nodded excitedly.
I sure am.
Hanukkah, boy. Okay.
Let me redo that.
I sure am.
Clover turned back to face the barrier.
I can't believe it's finally over. And that everything worked out. I'm forever grateful that these two stuck with me till the end. And I'll do everything to make sure that the humans accept them. I owe it to them, after all.
Hanako followed Clover with Flowey wrapped around his arm. After a short moment, the three of them phased through the barrier. Clover, Kanako, and Flowey walked out of the cave and onto a cliff overlooking the forest under the mountain. Clover could see the sun set just above the horizon, meaning it was almost evening. Kanako was in awe as she stared at the surface.
Oh my god. I never thought I'd actually ever see this sight.
Clover held Kanako's hand.
Well, you never deserve to be down there with those awful creatures. You deserve to be up here.
Kanako looked at the cave they came out of with a worried expression.
I know, but I'm still worried about what's gonna happen down there. And I'm sure there's still some monsters that don't deserve to be stuck down there.
Clover sighed in disappointment.
Yeah. It would have been nice if we could have taken Casey with us. She did help us after all, but it's best we just leave this behind.
Flowey rolled his eyes.
Yeah, let's just quit talking about this hellhole already. So, where should we go now, Clover?
Clover stared at the forest below as he thought about it.
Well, I did run away from my parents' house to get here. I guess I'm gonna have a lot to explain to them, but there's really nowhere else I can go.
Hanako smiled at Clover reassuringly.
Don't worry, Clover. I'm sure we'll be able to explain everything to them.
Clover still looked unsure.
But you don't get it. My parents are... they're...
Clover?
Clover's eyes widened as he instantly recognized the voice he heard.
Rose?
Clover looked to his right and saw his older brother running towards him. Kanako quickly got in front of him as she grabbed her staff.
Hey, get away from Clover, or else!
His eyes widened in fear as Rose quickly stopped in his tracks. Clover held Kanako's arm.
Wait, Kaneko. It's okay. I know him.
Kanako looked back at Clover, confused.
Wait, you have a brother?
You skipped a line.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! Wait, where?
You do? Who is he?
Sorry, my bad.
It's okay, it's okay.
You do? Who is he?
Oh, sorry for not telling you this earlier, but he's my brother.
Clover responded nervously.
Wait, you have a brother?
Kanako said in surprise. Rose had a confused smile on his face.
Clover, who's this?
Clover sweated nervously as he responded.
Don't worry, Rose. I'll tell you everything. But what are you doing here?
Rose rolled his eyes.
Well, I came up here looking for you, of course. I mean, geez, Clover, I thought you probably died up here or something.
Clover nervously rubbed his arm as he walked to his brother.
I'm really sorry, Rose.
Rose walked up to Clover and hugged him.
It's okay, Clover. I'm sure you had your reasons. I'm just so glad you're okay.
Flowey pulled himself back as Rose hugged Clover.
Hey, a little room would be nice, thank you very much.
Rose was startled by Flowey's voice as he stumbled back.
What the heck are you?
Clover nervously smiled.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to tell you about him.
Hanako pointed at Clover accusingly.
And you forgot to tell them about your new girlfriend, aka me?
Rose looked very weirded out, to say the least, but he composed himself.
Alright. Let me not waste sorry. Let me not waste any more time. So, Clover, can you please explain all this?
Clover quickly nodded.
Alright, yeah, of course. So, the basic gist of it is I jumped down into the underground to save the 5 children that fell down before me, and what I didn't know was that there was an entire race of monsters out to kill me and take my soul. But during my journey there, I met Flowey and Kanako here. And even though Kanako was a monster, she still agreed to help me get out of here. So the two of us fought our way through the underground with Flowey helping us. Eventually, we defeated the monster's king, and we were able to cross the barrier while also freeing the 5 human souls. So that's basically what happened. I can go into more details later if you want, but that's just a theory.
Oh.
Rose looked confused as he listened to his brother's story.
Um, okay. I think I got it. But in that case, where are the 5 human souls you freed?
Hanako manifested her soul from her chest, which had a blue soul inside of her upside down white soul.
Well, I had to absorb one of the souls in order to get me out of here. She let me absorb her soul willingly, though.
Chloe smiled proudly.
And the other 4 humans let me absorb all their souls to help me leave as well. Of course, once we find the families of the humans, I'll return them.
Rose slowly nodded in vague understanding.
Okay, I guess that's fair. Anyways, Clover, you and your friend should come with me.
Clover nervously looked back at Rose.
Are you gonna drive us back to our parents' house?
Rose shook his head.
After I found out the way they treated you, fat chance I'm bringing you back there. You'll be coming to my place instead.
Clover's face lit up as he heard this.
Wait, for real? I'll be coming to your place?
Rose smiled at his brother as he nodded affirmatively.
You bet, Clover. I'd be more than happy to let you and your friend stay there. We just gotta make sure our parents still think you're missing, and you'll never have to hear from them again.
Clover smiled widely as a tear left his.
I forgot that word.
Wow. It's okay.
As a tear
Wow.
left his eye.
Wow. Thanks so much, Rose. I really didn't want to go back there, you know?
Rose hugged Clover again, making sure to give Flowey some space this time.
And you won't. It'll be tough, but I'll do whatever it takes to look after you.
Nako impatiently crossed her arms.
Well, how are you gonna even get to your place? The city over there looks really far from here.
Rose pulled out a key from his pocket.
Well, we'll take my car, of course. I parked it near the base of the mountain.
Hanako raised an eyebrow in confusion.
What's a car?
Rose and Clover glanced at each other before Rose looked back to her.
Don't worry about it. All you need to know is that it'll help us get us to my place a lot faster.
Clover excitedly walked towards his brother.
Well, I'm more than ready to go.
Flowey quietly scoffed.
Well, I suppose if you're ready, then I guess I am too.
Hanako walked up next to Clover and held his hand.
Whenever Clover is ready, then so am I. So let's get out of here.
Rose began walking along the path, leading down the mountain.
Right. Follow me, everyone.
Rose began leading Clover, Kanako, and Flowey down the mountain.
And gut.
Alright.
We're done.
Well, yeah. No sign of profit, so I guess that's it.
Alright.
That was
AC, are we
chapter.
gonna do the final chapter?
Fizz, I'm taking away your nukes. I'm taking away your nukes, Fizz.
Oh no.
No more nukes for you.
Goodbye.
Altairs, you want the nukes? Because they're like already purchased.
I'd like some nukes.
You can split it with Maddie.
Sure.
So, are you guys reading? Are you guys fine with reading the next chapter tomorrow?
Alright, it's been split.
Or
Yeah, sure.
I mean, we can skip. We'll skip over that part. You know, if you've read it. I'm not subjecting you guys to
I've
that.
read the note at the start.
Yeah, I mean,
Bye, can I get removed?
it's in the
Bye,
poll.
can I be freed from gay baby jail? Because Fizz is in there. Can we like switch places in society in like freedom and not freedom?
No, we'll just put Fizz in solitary confinement.
Oh,
I'm free from gay baby jail.
well, I like to get out of gay
For
baby jail,
now.
but I'll gladly stay in my prideful prison.
Yes.
Disappointing. Fizz, I expected better.
I'm not gonna be back in gay baby jail with Jabu.
Table.
Jevil. Jevil.
Gay baby Jevil.
Chaos.
I won't be back in there in a week. I've actually my first day of being in the server, I ended up in gay baby's jail. I got out after like a month, and
Excellent.
I survived like another month without being in. It
Nice.
won't be less. Bye. It won't be less.
Bay JB
Gay
Gale.
baby Bale.
Yeah, gay
You said sugar way too many times, you idiot.
J
Can we
baby
have like a
jail.
public
People with-
execution for Fizz?
Charles Mars, no.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be in the next chapter. We're probably executing Fizz.
how was this chapter?
Yeah, nothing happened.
Oh yeah, the next chapter is a little bit longer, but not by much.
Okay, Matt, are you ready to put made Fizz everywhere?
Yeah.
Oh, I got that
How
gif.
did you invite me on stage?
Oh, I got that gif on the ready.
Anyway,
Perish.
okay, but like, do we just do it in our channels or Fizz's?
Put in Altair as well, I imagine.
I don't know.
We're done.
Oh,
Can
okay.
we make a maid?
Guess I can stop
Okay,
this now.
just spam